All right, Michael Egu.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, so we're here for discovery. Where are we on discovery?
Judge, I believe the discovery has been provided, at least everything that I can download everything that's up on the system, and I haven't noticed that there's anything.
All right, and has an offer been tendered?
It has not, Judge. I think the state is waiting, needs a little bit more time in that regard.
May I explain the situation?
Yes.
First of all, sir, how do I pronounce your last name?
Google.
Ugu? Mr. Ugu is currently on probation for an aggravated assault and deadly weapon. There is an assault on a process server with an offense date of March 28th, 2023. That case was filed after March. It had still not been indicted when Mr. Ugu entered his plea on the ag assault and deadly weapon. Now it's been indicted. And what I'm trying to learn from the ADA who handled the plea on the ag assault deadly weapon was whether or not this assault on a process server was supposed to be taken into consideration for that plea, because I don't find any notes from that ADA indicating one way or the other. Now, I've asked this ADA and he is looking into it.
All right, let me ask you this. Did you look at the court's file to see if something was written in the notes in the court's file?
No, I have not heard.
All right.
Judge, I can represent to the court, there's nothing in the court.
You've looked in the,
Yes, Judge, we were completely unaware of this case at the time that, at the time of sentencing and even at the time of the plea.
all right, and what is the case number for the case that he's on probation for?
Give me a moment to look that up.
Okay.
I have Marco bringing it.
All right, thank you.
It is 2023 CR 7389.
Did we have Odyssey back then, Judge? Was it?
Now, I'm reading the notes that I have because I put notes on everything in
Okay,
Odyssey now.
I was just wondering if Odyssey was even running at the time.
You're right, it wasn't in there because what I have in Odyssey is that the number one, this predates the motion to revoke. So I'm assuming it wasn't taken in consideration, because if it was, I would have put in the notes that it was taken in consideration.
But I apologize for interrupting, Your Honor. There's also no indication that we are supposed to proceed on this assault on a process server. There's no indication one way or the other.
No, there isn't.
So I would like some clarification, because obviously TICing this case into that plea would be better for Mr. Hu.
And who was the prosecutor who was on this?
Our dearly departed Daniel Epstein.
Okay, don't say dearly departed like he's, you know, no longer with us on the planet.
He left, Your Honor.
All right, so we will recall this. How much time do you need to speak to the dearly departed?
Your Honor,
Would it
I'm
be
gonna
by
need
Ouija,
to find
Judge?
a medium, a sail, a Ouija board. It's gonna take probably.
All right, you all want to bring this back on the 31st
No,
or
Judge.
later? Well,
Later.
no, he's saying he would have the information. Will you?
No, I
have it?
understand, but the 31st would be, if we could do the week after that, Judge, I appreciate that.
That's fine by me. It'll also give me an opportunity to follow the assault process.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, put this on November 7th. All right, we'll see you back on November 7th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Jose Amador? All right, on this case, we just need a jury trial setting, correct? I do not have one in the file that is the endangering of a child or the aggravated assault. I don't have one in the court's file. I'll say that. So how long do you expect this trial to last?
Probably 4 days, Judge.
4 days?
There's a number of witnesses,
Okay.
and so I believe we probably would be going to punishment to the jury.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date, 4 days. All right, you're gonna come back on December 2nd for jury trial. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not consider any plea bargain agreements with a good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. You'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to let your attorney know and they'll do a clothing exchange. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know.
Yes, Judge. I will say that I do have a vacation letter for December 9th and 10th. I'm flying out on the 6th to Colorado and we have non-refundable tickets and
We'll see where
stay.
we are.
Okay, Judge.
Yeah, I'll make sure you make your flight.
Thank you, Judge.
Unless somebody from your family tells me, Judge, we really don't want him there.
No, I doubt that. It's my daughter's birthday. We're going to
Oh,
see a Santa run.
oh, that's so nice. All right. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you.
My wife's best friend is his cousin, so I'll find out if you want.
Yeah, let me know.
I don't say it on social media, but.
Guadalupe Rodriguez. Hello, how's it going?
Good, Judge.
Usually you're in Colorado or somewhere else trying
It's
some
nice
case.
to be home.
Yeah. All right, so what is happening with Mr. Rodriguez?
Good afternoon, Judge. So Judge, we have a possible disposition, and then right before we did the plea takeover, we found out that Mr. Rodriguez has a new case unindicted.
Mhm.
The ADA has emailed the responsible attorney to see if they're going to go forward with that case. I don't know if we can call this in a week or two to give them time to do that. We still may have a disposition, but if they're going forward, it may complicate it a little bit.
You want to call it for the 31st?
That'll work, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Rodriguez is coming back on October 31st. All right, thank you.
You know, while I have you, if this isn't a good time, just let me know. I've got an off-docket matter that that I want to handle, talk to the court about real quick about a case that was on a docket last week with a visiting judge. I have a case number. It was a first setting and we were.
Just 1 second. Let me put this in the system.
Certainly.
Okay, what's the cause number?
Well, on reflection, Judge, talking to the ADA, you're probably going to want me to have my client here for this, so maybe I'll ask you.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, sir, just have a seat in the box. And then Celestino Garcia. And state on this one, are you all going to be proceeding on the First Amendment motion or no?
Yes.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 2522, State of Texas versus Celestino Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
And Fair Assembly.
defense?
Robert Ramirez for Mr. Garcia.
And are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Celestino Silly Garcia who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 2522 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on May 11, 2023 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Number 4, yeah.
I'm sorry, number 4.
Yes.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Okay, why should I follow this agreement? I mean, he's not reporting. That's like one of the easiest things to do to report. Not only is he not reporting, but he picked up a new offense. I don't understand. What's so hard about reporting?
Your Honor, he got off the rails a little bit with his support system. He was tied with a church group, a men's church group that helped him along the way. But he's trying to do as much as he can for himself on his own. And he tried to find a place to live. He was at this apartment complex.
No, but he was supposed to reside at Victory Gospel Chapel. That's where he wanted to reside. That's where I ordered him to reside. So why is he leaving a place that I told him that's where he's to reside?
I don't know.
All right, so why are you not living where I told you to live?
To be
You want to
honest,
raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Celestino Celia Garcia.
Why are you not living at the Victory Gospel Chapel?
Around that time, I had gotten to an altercation with the brother, and I had got released from the program.
All right, and did you call probation and tell them that?
Yes, he knew that I was moved.
No. My question is, did you call probation and tell them I've had an altercation at the residence that the judge told me to live? Did you call them and tell them that?
No, I didn't tell him that I had an altercation.
No, you just left.
Whenever I left him, I had probation the next week, and then I told him whenever I got there.
But you just pled to not reporting.
No, I reported that time, but then after that, the last time that I left the church, that's when I stopped going after I left the church.
Okay. All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 4 true, taking in consideration 2024 PF 18478. The court is going to grant the motion. Court will find you guilty, revoke. Does anybody want to talk about time?
I would like to, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, we'd asked to, on the court's discretion to, under section 1244 of the Texas Penal Code, to sentence him to no more than 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. He's going to have a felony conviction, Your Honor. He has, and he's got a lot going for him to go to, if he goes to state jail, that's going to be, day to day. At least he'll have a sanction. He'll have the conviction, and then when he gets out, and I ask you that you give him no more than 6 months, Your Honor.
All right, state. He's asking that his client be sentenced under 1244.
I don't know anything about the circumstances of the offense.
All right, do you want to familiarize yourself with the steps?
If the court will allow me, I would love to, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed. And just have a seat in the box and we'll get back with your case. All right, who's on Matthew Villarreal? And are you the prosecutor on that? You can go ahead and,
I can do two things at once, Your Honor. Can I go there?
okay, yes, come down. And there's no application on this case?
No, Judge, a straight time offer.
Court is calling 2024 CR 009021 State versus Matthew Villarreal. Can I have parties announced for the record?
And you represent the state?
Meredith Chacon for Mr. Villarreal, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Villarreal?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, as far as I know.
Did you review with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Villarreal, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of the deadly weapon and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Offense is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we'd like for him to get time that he's already got credit for. I believe he's got several months of that time.
All right. So what happened on this day?
I also wanted to know if I had a back time for the other. I was like that.
Just for this case.
Okay. No,
Yes.
no, it's fine.
All right, so what happened?
To be honest, I don't remember, ma'am. I was drunk and I was on pills and
Okay,
I was under the influence.
all right. All right, the court will find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Ezekiel, Ezequiel, Limon, Limon. And I'll order the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but it will help you if you have any type of mental health issues or any type of alcohol or drug issues.
Thank you,
I can't,
Judge.
you're welcome. I can't force them to place you in the program because I don't have the authority to do that. So you are going to have to request it. They'll see on the judgment that I've requested it for you, but you have to request it as well. Do you understand?
Therefore, ma'am, like,
If you
Like,
have,
yeah.
yeah,
oh,
Like you
Rehab.
asked me if there was a way you could get some kind of treatment. Judge is recommending they do that, but you need to make sure and ask when you get there that that's what you want as well, okay? It doesn't increase your time.
all right,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, okay.
No, I
okay.
don't want it.
All right, we can go off the record. It looks like you have a knot or something underneath your neck. You need to make sure the doctors check that out.
I don't know. I thought it was my Adam's apple, ma'am. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you need to have the doctors check that out and tell them they need to check it out immediately. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
That's the certification. in the field.
Ma'am,
That's-
what if it is,
But they don't need it, that's, don't worry.
All right, Celestino.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 2522, State versus Celestino Garcia. Where we left off, defense was requesting that his client be sentenced under 1244. State, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Are you asking me to sentence you under 1244?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll sentence him under 1244, but it'll be to a year.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail under 1244 and give you credit for any time served. And as previously stated, the court has taken in consideration 2024 PF 18478. All right, we can go off the record. Whatever drug issues you have, if you don't take care of those, one or two things are going to end up happening. One, you're going to lose all your brain cells because that's what drugs do. Two, somebody's going to find a body on the side of the road or in a field, and somebody's going to have to come out and identify that body, and that's going to be you. Or three, you're going to end up spending a majority of your life in prison. You got to decide how you want your life to be. Do you understand?
Sure.
There are plenty of places here in San Antonio where they have free drug treatment for you. When you're released from the Bexar County Jail, if you can't find a place to go, if you come back here, I direct you to a free place, okay?
Sure.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, April Perez.
Present, Judge.
All right, and counsel, I know you were recently placed upon this case. Ms. Perez, have you had any contact with the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you?
Just my mom. I told my mom to contact them. She said she got a hold of him. Something about he was gonna be out of town or.
All right, so we're going to go on the record. The court is calling 2024 CR 2756, State of Texas versus April Ann Perez. Ms. Perez, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Abraham Bettis.
All right, there was an attorney that was previously appointed to represent you. Had you personally had any contact with that attorney?
No.
All right, and are you asking that Mr. Castellon be appointed to represent you?
Yes.
All right, and for the record, you are?
I'm Orlando Castellon.
All right, and so Mr. Castellon, I know you were just appointed to represent
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Perez. So I'll give you a 30-day reset, give you a chance for him to have discovery. If he wants you brought back over sooner, he can let the court know and we'll put you on the docket sooner. Do you understand?
I will be filing a motion to set bond. I believe she's been remanded without bond. She said she was not aware of it prior.
Do you want to bring, not tomorrow? We
Yeah,
can bring her
I'm
back.
actually not gonna be available tomorrow.
I mean, we can set it for sometime next week if you want to set it for next week.
Okay, that's fine, Judge. I'm available next week.
Monday.
That's fine.
All right, so we'll bring you back on October 28th.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, if you can make sure she comes back on the 28th. All right, who do you have?
Marco Colinas. MTR and a DWI third.
All right, let me see if I have that MTR up here. All righty, let's bring him up.
You're the preview judge. It's gonna be a plea of truth, an explanation, and no read recommendation.
All right, I love previews. It's like the trailer, right?
The problem with the previews is I tend to go through all the pop-ups. I have nothing left for the movie.
But you know, I always try to be there for the previews because if the movie is horrible, you can say, well, I can look forward to these other movies. I remember Mom took us to see a movie and it was Clash of the Titans, the one with Harry Hamlin.
Oh, the graphics are horrible, but it was a great movie.
No, at the time the graphics were great.
What?
And let me just tell you, that guy who did that, his graphics are still great because Sinbad, the sailor, all of those graphics are still great.
Ray Harryhausen.
Yes, but when we were there, you know what, when we were waiting for Clash of the Titans, you know what the preview was? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh,
And so my mom would take us to the movies probably like once every 2 or 3 weeks. But that was the time she said, we're coming back the next Saturday and we're seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark. But it was great. Those were the days. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3508, State versus Marco Antonio Calendras. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Carl Alexander for Mr. Colindres.
And are you Mr. Calendras?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment to Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Marco Antonio Calendras who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 3508 for the offense of driving while intoxicated third or more on August 24th, 2023 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 4 years in the prison and a $1,500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. And defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking that you deny the motion, that you continue him on supervision. And my client is asking for help. So in our discussions, and part of what I was doing during court is reaching out and seeing if it's even possible. He is a veteran. He continues to struggle with some unresolved PTSD issues and obviously substance abuse as well. I spoke with the state earlier this morning and this afternoon, kind of looking into his criminal history. It is a true DWI third. My client does acknowledge that he does have an alcohol problem. You will see, I'm sure, on the First Amendment motion, there was a new number 1 out of Travis County. That case, per my client, has been rejected or dismissed.
And what is that case about?
Apparently when picking, may I, am I allowed to tell her? Okay. So in executing the court's warrant for the MTR, he decided that he was going to flee initially when he and his cousin were stopped, which is really an evading. It's still a new number 1. I get that, but it's alleged as an escape. My understanding is Travis County has declined to go forward on that. Mr. Garahan did a TCIC, NCIC over the lunch break. There's no prosecution available, so I have no reason to disbelieve my client about the resolution of that case at this point. Mr. Colindres was going through some financial troubles, Judge, because I was trying to ask some of the questions I figured you'd probably want to know.
Well, this is what I want to know, because I'm not the one who placed him on probation. Another judge placed him on probation. So probation on Calendras. Has he ever had any treatment? Because what I see the other judge wrote, well, all he wrote was 2-year, I think it was Judge Harrell, all he wrote was 4 years probation, $1,500 fine, 2-year license suspension, 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, GPS, TAP, 150 hours community service restitution. That's it. So has he received any treatment? All right, so this is what the court will do. The court, you have a choice. I can't give everybody choices. Here's your choice. One, we can refer him. You're saying that he's a veteran?
Yes, Judge, he's per him and he does have his DD 214 available. His mother would have to provide it because he's in
Well,
custody.
have you seen it?
I've not seen it, Judge. I have no
Do you
reason.
know 100% that he's a veteran?
I only know what he's represented to me, Judge.
Does anybody have the report? Was there a PSI done? Are you saying you're a veteran?
Yes, Your Honor.
What branch?
United States Air Force.
Just 1 second. Do you know if Veterans Treatment Court, can you call somebody from there to see if they can at least see if he was in the military? Yes, if you can ask him to come down. All right, just have a seat. All right, sir, if you'll come down. John, thanks for running down.
Of course, Judge.
All right, so on this case, he's never had treatment before. It's obvious that he needs treatment. I didn't take his plea, so I wasn't unaware. I didn't know he was military, so I wasn't aware of that. Defense is saying that he says he's military. He's saying he's military. Of course, as you know, we need proof that you're military. So how long would it take?
So we were speaking, Your Honor. I can say the conversation we had, he couldn't have held with me if he didn't serve. So he did give me his reentry code. Unfortunately, you okay if I share it? Fortunately, he can't ever rejoin the military.
Okay.
He did have a few different issues that we kind of talked about. He reports he doesn't have any of his paperwork. So I was speaking with the attorney and him, the fact of I can make a call, and it was also the finding point of you can call and confirm whether someone is or isn't. So now's the time to tell me. The problem is going to rely on the fact of I will run with it pretty quickly as far as I can go. We have set up an opportunity to where right now there is a Zoom possibility that we can have between the three of us or even his mom. His mom is here in town. If we get him registered on My Healthy Vet, because right now he has not touched the VA system.
Okay.
If we get him registered there, we can expedite it to where we can get the paperwork that we need. However, we'll know tomorrow if he's telling what he's saying is true. And I'll start the eval process as fast as we can, push him through for felony BTC. When we get to the staffing table, which can happen every Thursday, we have docket. I'm trying to think of logistically here. Probably within 2 to 3 weeks, we can have him at the staffing table. The state of Texas, part of the DA's office, is that we're going to have to show something. If I can show that he's registered, it's approved, the fact that we've confirmed it through military records that he served, what he's telling me, other than honorable, the reentry code, security forces for about, I apologize, about a year and 6 months, and then unfortunately got chaptered out. We can work with that. And then we can ultimately, when the VA, you know how the government works, Your Honor, sometimes it takes a little longer for them to print out a paper and hand it to them. Once we get that, we'll just add it to his file. So it's really just how fast we can get him registered with the VA, which we can do as quick as we can get him on a Zoom call.
All right, so here's my question. So is that something that can be done while he's in custody or no?
Which part? The registration part?
Well,
Or the eval part? The
The
evaluation
eval.
part? Yes, we can run right now. I have given him my business card. If you choose to take the route of signing the referral, Your Honor, I will give him the instructions of what to mail me. He can do it while he's in his, unfortunately in his cell, he can write it out, he can send it to me. It's really at the point of registering is whether or not his defense attorney and himself are willing to set up a Zoom call for us to get in, which right now I'm assuming we can do, he's
Yeah.
on board with.
I'm willing to do it, but the requirements the jail has on doing that, the soonest I'd be able to do it would be Monday.
Correct,
you have
yeah,
to
so
do
then
24
we're working with the
hours.
jail requirements, Your Honor. So yes, I'm on board to do it. If that's the route the court would like to choose, we'll work within the parameters that we
all
have.
right, do y'all want to have him brought over on Monday? Would that make it easier for things to be accomplished or no?
What the thing we would need to do would be registering him, like, well, it's a computer system.
So if you're available.
I mean,
today, yeah.
theoretically, like, look at my
Theoretically.
calendar. I could sit in here with my laptop on the defense Wi-Fi, sit in the box of them,
Okay, if that's easier for everybody to do, it can be done that way.
or actually, Judge, I have court tomorrow. I'll be in the courthouse tomorrow morning. If it's not too late,
Mhm.
sorry guys, if it's not too late to order him for tomorrow, just for the purpose of me able to sit down in the box with him and do the registration.
We could request an original promises because it's after
Yeah, I know.
3:30.
Yeah. I
So,
know.
all right, they'll request him and we'll see what
So fingers
happens.
crossed.
Yes.
I'll bring my laptop just in case.
All right, it is Marco Calandras. So we can go back on the record. We're back on the record in 2023 CR 3508, State versus Marco Antonio Calandras. Court has found violation of condition number 2 true. The court will deny the motion because it appears that you have not been given treatment. Court will alter the main conditions to include a referral to the VTC. If he's not accepted in the VTC, then there'll be a referral to felony drug court. And he's to remain in custody until transferred to VTC or FTC. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Stay.
All right, is there anything else you need?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Herman, is there anything else?
Good, Your Honor, I'll keep you updated.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
May be excused.
yes.
See.
Bashan,
Okay,
on Saturday, Bashan, I will be here.
You'll be here.
Yes, there are some students who are coming over on Saturday to view the courtroom. So I will be here. Yes, do you want to come in on Saturday? Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, can y'all have somebody brought over for Saturday since I'm gonna be here anyway?
Of course not, Judge.
Yeah.
Do people know that you're bringing this class since they have to be screened before coming in?
Yes, they do know.
Okay.
So Judge Ramon used to always threaten, if we didn't finish this trial, then we're gonna come in on a Saturday when I was her prosecutor, and she delivered on it one time.
Oh, yes.
This one, E3 and Tochi.
All right, Medina. All right, Mr. Hobbs, if you can unmute.
President, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
No problem. So have you all decided, or do you all have an agreement on the motion to revoke, or you still wish to proceed with the bond?
We're working toward that, but we don't have any resolution. So I think at this time it might be best to move forward on the bond. Tony and I will continue to confer between now and next week.
All right.
I will
So
keep
this
Ms.
is-
Medina's testimony very brief in lieu of the fact that we're coming back to her.
All right. The court is going to go back on the record in 2018 CR 1860, State versus Nathan Medina. If I have parties announced for the record for the state.
State of Texas.
Defense.
Colin Hobbs for Mr. Medina, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Medina?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court had heard testimony with regards to setting a bond in this matter and defense. Did you have any other witnesses to call?
Call Nathan Medina at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Any objection to defense counsel appearing by Zoom state?
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Medina, can you raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
NathenJosue Medina.
All right, defense.
Mr. Medina, you've heard the
I'm sorry.
testimony from your
Just one
fiance.
second, Mr. Hobbs, just one second.
Yes, Your
Counsel,
Honor.
counsel, if y'all can move to that end, just let the deputies know. All right, we're back on the record. You may proceed.
Mr. Medina, you heard the testimony from your fiance this morning. Regarding your brothers, can you give the court a little bit more information regarding how they came to be in y'all's care and custody?
Yes, sir. So, I grew up very unfortunate. Never really had good role models in my life. My brothers always meant everything to me. My mom went to rehab, unfortunately, and still going down the gutter. And with that being said, I decided to take my brothers in so they can go to school because they weren't going to school. And I was like, you know, that's not right. Like, I want them to go to school and do right and live a right life and not follow the path that I was in right now, currently, that I'm trying to get out of. And I figured that with that, taking them in, that would help them with their future. And I'm just doing the best I can, changing my life up. And I know it looked bad on paper, but that's not who the man I am anymore. And I'm ready to rewrite that all and fix it all up. And I got my brothers with me now, and I'm thankful for that. And I have a newborn baby this January 9th, and I'm thankful for that. And with that being said, I'm just grateful to have them in my life and them be with me instead of on the streets.
And you have a baby daughter that's going to be born soon. Are you hoping to maybe be out for that birth?
Correct. Yes, sir. I want to be out before the birth so I can witness that. And it'll be a blessing, a huge blessing to me and my family. We would highly appreciate it.
Now, obviously, you heard testimony earlier that your fiance and you're okay with paying for the GPS. Y'all can afford the $300 per month.
Yes, sir. I can't afford that. I currently work and I cut hair for a living and I can't afford that. Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
no.
And then from there, are you asking this court, should they grant you a bond with GPS to allow you to go to work so you can continue working to support you and your family?
Right. I would love for the court to grant me that so that I can continue to provide for my family because I'm the only one that they have currently. I'm also looking after my other little sister, but she's staying with another relative as well. So I have a lot on my plate. My family highly needs me right now, and whatever the court can grant me, I would highly appreciate that.
One of the things the court's very likely to do is have you do frequent check-ins. Are you okay checking in with pretrial services?
I'm capable of doing that as well. Yes, sir.
Okay. Any objections to if the court makes you pee in a cup on a weekly basis? Will you comply with that?
Yes, I can. That's perfectly fine.
Is it fair to say that anything the court asks you to do, you're going to do so?
I'm going to do it 1000%.
All right, so let me just tell you, whenever people say put something at 1000%, it's normally not true. Whenever you see Maury Povich shows and they're asking, are you the father? When the mom says 100%, we're like, yeah, he's probably the father. But when the mom says, oh, I'm 1000%, you know what always ends up happening? They're not the father. So never go to 1000%.
Yes, ma'am. I will comply, though. I will comply.
Understood. Is there anything you wish for the court to know at this time?
I just ask that you guys grant me this and trust within me and my word that I will own up to what my wrongs were and show and prove to the court that I'm willing to be a man now and prove to you guys that I can do what's right.
And obviously, you know, you're charged with having not succeeded in your probation. Have you made strides within the last several years to turn your life around?
Yes, I have. And before in the past, like I said, I wasn't smart. I wasn't making any wise decisions. I didn't have anybody saying, hey, like, you know, like you need to do better or anything like that. And now that I'm getting older, I'm getting closer to God. I'm actually getting closer in my faith. I'm actually wanting to go do the sobriety thing with my mom and help her with that and just do better with my life because I have that opportunity. I have that chance, just like everybody else has that chance. And yes, I am making better decisions. I don't do really much besides cut hair and go home.
Is Eris and her family, have they been kind of a blessing as far as helping you get right?
Oh yeah, they're a huge blessing and they're very motivating people. Like I said, their military background as well, and they're very, very strict and they love me. They love me and they support me a lot. And they're the ones who actually wanted me to come over there and live with them because I was deciding to go live in a hotel and they said, no, we're not going to allow that. You're going to stay with us and we're going to get your life figured out together. And they're very, very supportive with that.
And they know what you're charged with and they're still going to support you through this time?
Yes, they do. Yes, sir. They do know what I'm charged with and they are very still supportive and they're not ever going to not be supportive.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, so do you have any other witnesses?
That's all, Your Honor.
What is happening with this Valverde case? Is that still pending?
Our understanding, Judge, from his conversations with his attorney on that, I don't believe it's still open. The state can certainly speak to that if they've had a chance to look it up. My client says that he was a passenger in a vehicle.
No. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to get into any facts that are in the NTR. I just want to know if that case is still pending.
His belief is that it's not, but I don't have confirmation of that, Your Honor.
Do you need a number, state?
I was gonna try Google, Judge, but.
Okay.
Do you have a better number?
830 775 0505. All right, council, we'll be back with you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. I'll put you in the waiting room. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 3480. State of Texas versus Jose Alvarado. How do you pronounce the last name?
Teche.
Teche. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Tony Argala for the state of Texas.
Kathy Compton for Mr. Alvarado Teche.
And are you Mr. Teche?
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter here. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Carmen Tarragona Sáez.
All right, and Ms. Compton, are you fluent in Spanish?
Yes, I am.
And were you able to review all of these documents with your client in Spanish?
Yes, I was.
Mr. Teche, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those documents explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And there's no application here?
No, there is not, Your Honor.
Did you understand in count one, you're charged with manufacturing or delivery of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 400 grams or more. That's a first-degree felony. However, your range of punishment for that offense is 15 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, resident. Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1. Your punishment is to be assessed at 15 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine, and there are no applications for community supervision or deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State to admit State's Exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objection.
Right. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking to do so.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We would just ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement. We've worked on it for a while. He does not have any prior criminal history before this, and as the court has noted for the record, the collateral consequences is quite severe as well. He's basically going to probably lose his legal residency as a consequence of this.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 15 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Renee Presidio. And there's to be no re-entry into the United States.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's always good seeing you.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, may we be excused?
Yes, and I will see you all on Thursday.
And you already like on chicken with the mayor.
Yeah.
And everybody remembers it that way. Thank you. Bye, your honor.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
You too.